An extraordinary event has occurred in China's financial sector. Today, I will first explain what exactly happened, followed by an exploration of its impact. Finally, I will discuss the shocking nature of this incident and how similar situations could potentially happen in Japan. I'll also provide tips on how to avoid being caught up in such scams. So, let's dive into what happened by looking at this article. The title of the article reads, "Yet another financial group collapses, losses exceed 10 billion yuan." In Japanese yen, this amounts to over 200 billion yen. The article also mentions that the founder of this financial group has already fled. So, what exactly is this financial group mentioned in the title? It's a massive enterprise known in Japanese as King A Group, which has been selling financial products for quite some time. The financial products in question were quite unique, and I'll explain the specifics later. Due to the nature of these products, most of the investors were elderly individuals. Over 10 billion yuan, more than 200 billion yen in Japanese currency, was collected from these elderly investors. However, the company's management transferred this money overseas and later fled abroad with their families. Despite this, the company continued to collect funds until August last year. At that point, hotels, travel agencies, and resorts associated with the company's financial products suddenly shut down, causing unrest among the investors. Around the end of last year, public security finally started an investigation. By then, rumors had already spread widely, and when investors rushed to the company office, only a few employees were present. These employees were also victims, as their wages had not been paid. It became clear that the company had no money left, and its executives had disappeared. This was when investors realized they had been scammed, which brings us to early this year. To summarize, this company had been running a Ponzi scheme for years, amassing over 200 billion yen before abruptly announcing they had no money left. Most victims were elderly because the company marketed financial products that claimed to combine retirement and resort business models. Investors were told that their money would be used to run hotels, travel agencies, and resorts and that they could earn returns of up to 25% per year. For instance, if someone invested 1 million yen, they could receive 250,000 yen annually. This sounded attractive, especially to elderly individuals, who could also use the company's resort facilities. Additionally, the company's sales tactics were highly targeted. Their sales teams were trained to appeal to the elderly. In China, there are places called elderly activity centers where seniors gather for socializing or exercise. The company's salespeople would visit these centers, bringing gifts such as fruit, to establish trust with the elderly. Once trust was gained, they introduced the financial products, claiming, "This offers a 25% return, much better than depositing your money in a bank," and persuaded them to invest. Initially, the promised returns were indeed paid. For example, an annual return of 25% meant doubling one's money in just 4 years. Since the initial returns were paid on time, many investors trusted the company and invested more, sometimes even their entire savings. From 2016, the company sold these products, and although they effectively collapsed last year, they managed to operate for about 8 years and collected over 200 billion yen in the process. However, the founder transferred the company's funds abroad as early as 2022 and moved overseas with their family. Despite this, the Ponzi scheme continued for 2 more years, as it remained undetected. Even after the founder fled, the company kept collecting funds until August last year, when their affiliated hotels and resorts suddenly closed. Despite this, the company's salespeople assured investors that everything was fine and even encouraged additional investments. One key aspect of Ponzi schemes is their longevity. They collect money from many people and use those funds to pay returns to earlier investors, creating the illusion of a legitimate operation. This cycle builds trust, leading people to reinvest their returns. Over time, this system allows the scam to grow massively before collapsing. So, how can one avoid falling victim to such scams? First, even if a company has been operating for years and advertising consistently, it does not guarantee legitimacy. Long-running Ponzi schemes have appeared suddenly and collapsed just as quickly. Second, be wary of financial products offering extraordinarily high returns. Professional investors and institutions, such as mutual funds, strive to achieve reasonable returns. If a scheme promises significantly higher returns, it should raise a red flag. Additionally, scrutinize the business model. Does it realistically explain how such high returns are generated? High returns often prey on human greed, making people believe in exaggerated claims. A common mindset is, I can make a lot of money easily, which leads people to misinterpret fraudulent business models positively and ultimately results in falling for the scam. In conclusion, the victims of this incident in China were mostly elderly individuals who invested their life savings, only to lose everything. While a 25% return might seem plausible in a high-inflation environment, China is currently in a deflationary phase. Understanding the economic context and maintaining financial literacy are crucial in identifying scams. If you're wondering what reasonable returns might look like, compare them to safe investment trusts. Any scheme promising returns far above those should be approached with skepticism.